In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NBA games happening on October 28, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NBA games after fully watching this video. One thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Detroit Pistons versus Miami Heat. The Detroit Pistons will travel to the Casey Center on Monday evening to face off against the Miami Heat in an early season Eastern Conference matchup. Both teams are looking to establish momentum in the regular season, with the Pistons currently sitting in 14th place in the East, holding a winless 0-3 record. Detroit's most recent game resulted in a narrow 124-118 home loss to the Boston Celtics on Saturday. Meanwhile, the Heat find themselves in 6th place with a 1-1 record. They bounced back from an opening loss by securing a 114-106 road victory over the Charlotte Hornets on Saturday night. This matchup marks the first of 3 meetings between these two teams during the 2023-2024 season. In terms of player availability, the Pistons will once again be without rookie forward Ausar Thompson, who remains sidelined due to illness. On the other side, Miami will have to make do without veteran forward Kevin Love, who is out for personal reasons. The Heat showed resilience by rebounding from their opening night defeat to the Orlando Magic with a solid performance against the Hornets. Jimmy Butler, who struggled in the season opener with just 3 points in 26 minutes, returned to form in the Charlotte game, posting 26 points over 37 minutes to lead the Heat to victory. However, Miami has had difficulty covering the spread, failing to do so in 4 of their last 5 overall games, 6 of their last 8 home games, and all 5 of their previous meetings against the Pistons. Detroit, despite losing to the Celtics by 6 points on Saturday, covered the 12.5-point spread with ease and has managed to cover the spread in 9 of their last 11 matchups with Miami. While the Heat are favored to win this game, partly due to the excitement surrounding Dwayne Wade's statue celebration at home, the Pistons have shown they can be a challenging opponent. Despite their 0-3 start, Detroit has fought hard in every game, taking both the Indiana Pacers and Boston Celtics down to the wire. While Miami is expected to come out on top, their ongoing offensive struggles could leave room for Detroit to stay competitive throughout the game. Historically, the Pistons have given Miami trouble even in losses, posting a 7-2-1 record against the spread over their last 10 games versus the Heat, despite losing 8 of those contests outright. A closer look at the two teams' net ratings reveals that there isn't a massive gap between them. Detroit ranks 23rd with a -7.3 net rating, while Miami sits slightly higher at 19th with a -5.1 net rating. Both teams exhibit similar three-point shooting abilities, with the Pistons hitting 34.6% of their shots from beyond the arc and the Heat connecting on 36.8%. While Miami may hold a slight shooting edge, the numbers indicate that Detroit has the potential to keep things close, especially if their defense can maintain the energy they showed against Boston. Detroit can take some confidence from their gritty effort against the Celtics, but replicating that level of performance against Miami on the road will be a tough task. Still, Miami's offense has shown signs of inconsistency, which could give the Pistons an opportunity to make this a competitive game. With Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, and Tim Hardaway Jr. leading the charge, Detroit has enough firepower to remain within reach. Given their recent track record against the Heat and their ability to cover as underdogs, the Detroit Pistons to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Both teams play at a relatively slow tempo, ranking near the bottom of the league in pace. The Pistons rank 24th in the NBA with an average pace of 99 possessions per game, while the Heat are even slower, sitting at 27th with 97.75 possessions per game. Neither team excels in crashing the offensive boards, with Detroit ranking 20th in the league with 9.7 offensive rebounds per game and Miami tied for 15th with 11 per contest. These numbers suggest that second chance points will likely be limited, keeping the overall scoring modest. Scoring has been a challenge for both squads early in the season. Detroit is averaging just 105 points per game, while Miami isn't far ahead, posting an average of 105.5 points per contest. Shooting efficiency has also been an issue for both sides. Miami ranks 21st in the league in field goal percentage, while Detroit ranks a bit higher at 14th. Recent trends also point toward lower scoring outcomes. 4 of the Pistons' last 5 games have gone under the total, and the same has happened in 4 of Miami's previous 5 Monday games. However, given the close nature of recent games and the potential for the Pistons to surprise with another gritty performance, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Washington Wizards versus Atlanta Hawks. The Hawks enter this matchup coming off their first loss of the season, preparing to host the Washington Wizards in a Southeast Division showdown. The Wizards are still searching for their first win of the season and hope to turn things around on the road. Atlanta aims to bounce back after a disappointing defeat, while Washington will try to avoid falling into a deeper early season slump. The Wizards have stumbled out of the gate, losing their first 2 games by at least 19 points each, making them one of 5 winless teams in the league. Their recent struggles are compounded by a poor track record against Atlanta, losing 3 of their 4 meetings with the Hawks last season. In contrast, the Hawks began the season with back-to-back wins before suffering a tough loss in their most recent game. This matchup will mark the second leg of a back-to-back for Atlanta, while Washington, having last played on Saturday, enters with a bit more rest. Both teams are dealing with key absences. The Wizards are still without Malcolm Brogdon and Saddiq Bey, while the Hawks remain shorthanded, missing De'Ander Hunter, Cody Zeller, and Bogdan Bogdanovic. Despite the injuries, Atlanta has looked like the more polished offensive unit so far. The Hawks have excelled at shooting efficiently, leading the league in both free throw attempts and makes, which could give them an edge. Additionally, their ability to move the ball effectively and dominate the offensive boards provides extra scoring opportunities. Meanwhile, the Wizards have struggled defensively, and slowing down Atlanta's offense may prove to be a tall order for them. Washington's offensive issues have also been glaring through 2 games. They've struggled with poor shooting and lackluster rebounding, making it hard to generate second chance points. Their carelessness with the ball has been costly, as they are prone to turnovers, averaging more than 11 per game. This plays right into Atlanta's hands, as the Hawks thrive on forcing turnovers and creating transition opportunities. Given the Wizards' shaky defense and sloppy offense, they could have difficulty keeping pace with the Hawks in this game. The Wizards and Hawks enter this matchup with contrasting starts to the season. While the Hawks opened with 2 wins before stumbling in their last game, the Wizards are still trying to find their rhythm after dropping both of their opening contests. Atlanta's offense looked potent in its first 2 outings, but they hit a wall in their loss to the Thunder. This game presents a prime opportunity for the Hawks to rediscover their groove, especially against a Wizards team that has surrendered 122 and 135 points in their first 2 games. Notably, Washington's road struggles from last season remain a concern, as they finished with the second fewest road wins in the league. The Wizards appear to be in disarray, showing little promise in their recent blowout loss to the Cavaliers. On the other hand, the Hawks were aiming for a 3-game winning streak before running into trouble against the Thunder. While playing on consecutive nights can be a challenge, it's still early in the season, and the Hawks have the depth to manage it. Given the Wizards' defensive shortcomings and inconsistency, it's difficult to trust them to compete effectively in this contest. Although Atlanta enters the game banged up and on the second half of a back-to-back, the Wizards have not shown any signs of being a serious threat. Washington's lack of depth and overall talent continues to be an issue, as evidenced by their 1-5-1 record against the spread over their last 7 games, despite frequently being underdogs. While the line favoring Atlanta is steep, it's hard to back a Wizards team that has yet to play competitive basketball. Expect Hawks star Trae Young to lead a bounce-back effort, aiming to make up for a lackluster performance in their previous outing. So the Atlanta Hawks to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The Wizards have gone over the total in 3 of their last 4 games, and the Hawks have done the same in all 3 of their games this season. Washington's offense, despite its inconsistency, averages 109 points per game, and they play at the 4th fastest pace in the league. Meanwhile, the Hawks are putting up 122.5 points per game and rank 9th in pace, creating a recipe for a high possession contest. Atlanta's defense has been porous, allowing 118 points per game, and with the Hawks on a back-to-back, fatigue could play a role, leading to even more scoring opportunities for both teams. Both teams have a history of playing in high-scoring matchups against each other, with 3 of their last 5 meetings going over the projected total. Additionally, both squads rank among the top 9 in possessions per game early this season, continuing a trend from last year when Washington led the league in that category and Atlanta ranked 4th. This game is shaping up to be a fast-paced shootout with plenty of scoring chances. Although the Hawks struggled with their shot in their most recent outing, they are likely to bounce back against a Wizards defense that has already given up 122 and 135 points in their first two games. Both the Hawks and Wizards should find plenty of scoring opportunities in what promises to be an up-tempo contest. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Denver Nuggets versus Toronto Raptors. On Monday evening, the Denver Nuggets will head north to Scotiabank Arena, where they are set to take on the Toronto Raptors. Denver has had a rough start to the season, now sitting at 0-2 following a narrow 109-104 defeat on Saturday night. Meanwhile, the Raptors are also coming off a loss, falling to the Minnesota Timberwolves, putting both teams in search of their first win of the season. The Nuggets enter this matchup with a clean bill of health, as no players are currently listed on their injury report. In contrast, the Raptors will be shorthanded, missing key contributors such as Kelly Olynyk, Emmanuel Quickley, and R.J. Barrett. Denver's most recent loss came at home against the Los Angeles Clippers, where they failed to secure their first victory of the year. Jamal Murray, however, showed significant improvement compared to the season opener against the Oklahoma City Thunder, where he struggled to find his rhythm, making just 4 of 14 shots in a 102-87 loss. In Saturday's game, Murray rebounded with a 22-point performance, much more in line with his typical offensive production. Despite this, Denver has yet to find their groove, and they struggled out of the gate against the Clippers, missing several early shot attempts. However, they have a good chance to bounce back against a Raptors team that is still working through early season challenges. Toronto ranked 26th in defensive rating last season, and it appears they may struggle again on that side of the ball this year. Denver's rough start to the season continued with a disheartening loss to a depleted Philadelphia 76ers squad, leaving them searching for momentum. Although the opening stretch has been tough for the Nuggets, they will likely view this game as a prime opportunity to right the ship. Toronto's roster is not only lacking key players, but has also struggled to find consistency on both ends of the court. Additionally, the Raptors don't seem to have a reliable strategy to contain Nikola Jokic, which gives Denver a significant edge. The Nuggets have been doing well enough on the boards to neutralize Toronto's biggest strength, rebounding, and they should also benefit from frequent trips to the free throw line, which will help revive their offense. The Raptors have been turnover-prone, which could further doom their chances in this matchup. Although the betting line for this game might seem slightly high for a road team, the Nuggets are in desperate need of a convincing victory to stabilize their season. Given Toronto's injury woes and inconsistent play, the Denver Nuggets to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Defensively, the Nuggets have shown some promise early in the season. They managed to hold both the Thunder and the Clippers under 110 points, which is a solid effort. However, they've struggled on the offensive end, shooting poorly in their first two games. It's likely that Denver will look to generate more easy scoring opportunities in this matchup instead of relying too heavily on outside shots. Last season, the Nuggets finished in the top 5 in offensive rating, but it might take them a few more games to rediscover that form. I expect Denver to dictate the tempo in this contest, especially considering that they were one of the slowest-paced teams in the league last season, and their core roster has remained largely intact. At the moment, the Nuggets rank dead last in true shooting percentage, which has been a major factor in both of their games staying under the total points line. Additionally, Denver ranks 29th in pace, which suggests they will aim to slow things down and limit possessions. On the other hand, Toronto ranks 19th in true shooting percentage, but that number is somewhat misleading, as it's been boosted by solid free throw shooting. Denver, however, has excelled at keeping opponents off the foul line, currently ranking second in the league in that category. This spells trouble for Toronto, particularly if Barrett and Quickley remain sidelined, making it even harder for them to generate offense. Given these factors, Monday night's game is likely to follow a pattern that plays to Denver's strengths, a slow, physical contest with limited scoring opportunities. Both teams prefer to play at a measured pace, and with the Nuggets shooting struggles and the Raptors missing key players, the game is expected to be a grind. For these reasons, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.